And thank you all for coming. It really means a lot that you came. This is my first Super Saturday that I've ever hosted, and this is actually the first time I've ever spoken in front of anyone. So just bear with me. I'm just a little nervous. But I'm Tiffany Lapinski. I am married with 3 kids. I just live like in Lindstrom, not far from here, so small town kind of girl. I actually joined Beachbody in June of 2013. I signed up as a coach right away because I thought, you know, that would be the best way for me to like actually get results and like stick to the program and stuff. So I started right away with Turbo Fire. Just use that program to kind of get in the swing of like working out my family and healthy lifestyle, getting used to drinking my Shakeology every day. And then T25 came out, and I lost 20 pounds in just 60 days. So that was like kind of where my like transformation like kind of took off, and like I decided that, you know, the light switch was turned on and coaching was for me. And so my most recent success story, I would say, is had Lorraine, sweet little baby, at the end of September. So I decided to, I was gonna really, I have a goal. I want to be a certain size by a certain time, and I hadn't hit that goal before we got pregnant with her. So I decided I'm just gonna jump right back into this. I'm not letting anything get in my way. I'm doing this. So October 10th, so she was born the September 21st. October 10th, I just got right back into it with the 21-day fix. And now I'm doing Insanity Max 30. Since October 10th, I'm down 50 pounds. Nice. So I'm past my goal weight. That's really exciting. But the reason why I like continue coaching is because not only has my life completely changed, like with all these like inspirational people just like following me, and like I'm like meeting all these crazy people, and like it's just so exciting. But I'm like motivating and inspiring other people to like feel like as good as I feel. And oh my god, I didn't even think I would get like this. But so it's like just changed my life completely. And I'm like, I've got all these like challenges that have helped me lose weight and I feel good, and it's just like really exciting. So, and it's like changed our life. Like just in general, I wasn't always like, I've never been like super overweight. Like in high school, I, you know, just wanted to work and have fun with my friends and stuff. I didn't care about eating healthy and stuff. But I've noticed like a huge change. Like drinking Shakeology every day has completely changed everything. I have more energy. Like I feel like I can actually like get the results that I've been looking for, so that I can chase the kids around and everything. Like I'm not afraid of being like that frumpy mom that just has to go and just wear mom clothes. Like you think, oh, I don't want to be a mom until I have to wear those kind of clothes and stuff. But you don't have to. You can be as hot as you want to be. Like, you know? So I don't know. That's just kind of a little bit about me. So thank you all for coming again. And we have some like really awesome speakers here today. So I just hope that you enjoy yourself. We'll be listening to a video, watching a video, tasting a few different Shakeology flavors, listening to some awesome stories, and we have a surprise for someone special here today. And we'll be doing a raffle drawing and stuff too. So if you did not fill out one of these little slips, feel free to do so at any time. Just come up and fill it out and stick it in there, because towards the end we'll do a raffle and then we'll work out to Sandy Max 30. So thank you. And this is
we didn't start coaching for anybody else but me, which sounds horrible. But once I got those changes in my own life, it just became a passion and a goal to as many people as I can see. So I'm done.
Lanise, I am from Chicago. This is my husband here, Tommy, and then I have 3 kids back here. So, I wanted to just briefly share what Beachbody coaching has done for me on top of like everything else. It's really overall changed my confidence. When I first started, well, you know what? Early on, I never had a problem with confidence, with my self-esteem. I was a good student. I had a good job. I was pretty happy with myself. I was photogenic. Like, you didn't have to review pictures back then. I just took a picture and it was great. So I never had confidence. But then, you know, life gets complicated. You grow up. First, then, you know, you get married, you have kids. Then you have less time for yourself. And that's kind of like what happened to me. I get a little bit fat. Tried every diet, lemonade, grapefruit, no bread, no cheese, you know, like everything. But couldn't stick with anything. So I would lose the weight and come back and lose it, come back. And then I'll kind of like stop trying.
Mom, look
So one day me and my husband were in the, we were in a hotel room over the weekend. And we saw an Insanity commercial, the original one. So we looked and like, maybe we should try it. And we did, and I was excited. Got the program. It was hard, but I loved it. But I would only do 3 weeks. And that was it. Every time I started over, it was just 3 weeks. That's as far as I could get. So, and I noticed a change, but I couldn't get any further than 3 weeks. So when I, maybe a year later, I got a text from someone. She said, hey, you ordered Brazil butt lift. What do you think about coaching? I was like, I don't know. It's $40. I said, I can do 40. I mean, I've wasted $40 a few times in my life. I can try it. So I decided to become a coach. Immediately, I made my first challenge group. And now I was like, I have to stick to the program because I have people looking at me. I have people who are dependent on me to help them get through the program. And so, 60 days, not 60 days, Insanity is 63 days. 63 days later, we all finished. I lost like 20 pounds. I lost 7 inches off my waist. Everybody in my challenge group finished. I was like super excited. And then after that, I felt like I could do this 10 times over. You know, so that's pretty much what coaching has done for me. Not just like, you know, I appreciate and I love being able to help people, but it's really changed my thought process. It's really helped me to be able to tell people like, you can do it. You can do it. You can be confident that whatever goal you set out, your fitness goals, your health goals, you can get there. It may not be, you know, it's not as easy as it was. I felt like when I was 19, I could lose 10 pounds in a week if I wanted to, you know. But now it's like, you know, I work, get on the scale and it's like 0.8. So it's like different now, but it's achievable. And that's what, on top of everything else that Beachbody has done for me, it's really taught me that you set a goal, you can hit it, and that's something that I'm able to share with others, and what I really appreciate about being a coach now. So that's it. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for asking me to be a part of this. It's such an honor to be up here. I just have a couple things to say. Stephanie just wanted me to tell you what my story was. I grew up in Brooklyn Center. Great parents. I was number 4 out of 6 kids. Had an awesome life. Went to the Baptist Church a couple of miles down the road. Went to Bethel College. About a month after I graduated from Bethel, I met Gary, my future husband. And we got married 3 years later. When we got married in October, and in November he quit his very nice paying job to become a real estate agent full-time, which is 100% commission.
I'll see that.
Also during that time, because we were about 25, we decided, yeah, we could pregnant, so we never did birth control. We were married for a couple of years, super busy with real estate, worked a ton of hours, lots and lots of hours. And I thought, shouldn't I have gotten pregnant in the last couple of years? And so a girlfriend of mine said to me, let's see somebody. That started our 8-year journey of infertility. We did everything. They manipulated my body every single day to try to get pregnant. And every month I would go to the doctor and take my pregnancy test. So excited because this had to be the month, because how could it not be? And every month he came out and said, I'm sorry, but you were not pregnant. So every day I went home, curled up on the couch, cried. I was sad and depressed, and I wasn't going to cry. And I ate. And during this time, Gary continued to build this huge real estate business. Is in the top 0.5% in the nation for production. So we were busy. I quit my job, full-time job, and went to work with him full-time in about 1993. We were both working 80 or so hours of work per week, super, super busy, building that business, continued to try to have a baby, continued with no results. So in the fall of 1998, we decided to adopt. So we went through the whole homesteading thing. In January of 1999, a young girl that we knew from our office came to us and said, she was a senior in high school, and she said, I'm pregnant and I want you to adopt my baby. And we're like, wow, is that easy? A month later, someone comes, okay, here we go. So I was just about to turn 40 in February. Got ready for this baby, continued to work tons of hours, and about the middle of May, she stopped calling. She delivered the baby the 1st of July, and oh, I was broken. I was past broken. But looking back on that now, I think we could have been the instrument that saved that baby's life, because she was a senior in high school, and she certainly had the opportunity to have an abortion, and she did not. She kept that baby, which, if that's how God needed to use us, then that's okay with me. So I went home that night, so sad, and I just dropped to my knees, because what else do you do? And I sang that song, I Surrender All, and just said, I'm done. I'm 40 years old. Who's going to adopt a baby to me? I'm old, felt old. And I stopped on that day praying for a baby. And I started to pray for peace in my heart, because all I had ever wanted to be was a mom. So probably about the middle of September, a couple months later, I got the flu. I was super, super tired with this flu, and I was really sick, nauseous all the time. And on September 28th, our manager of our office called and said, oh, I put a treat in my drawer for you. I'm gone for the rest of the day, I'll talk to you tomorrow. So I went and looked in her drawer, and it was a pregnancy test. I'm like, I'm not pregnant, I'm 40 years old. I'm pregnant at 40. Crazy. And she hadn't gone through the last 13 years with us, all of the infertility stuff. And so about 45 minutes later, I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll take the test. And my niece was with me. She was a senior in high school working with us. And it lit up like a Christmas tree. And I sat there staring at it, and I said, you know, to her, without looking at her, you know, if somebody thought they were pregnant and took a pregnancy test, right now they would think they were pregnant, but this test is wrong. I mean, how could it be right? So how can they chemically get this test wrong? How does that work? And I looked at her, and her little face was all red, and she was crying. And she said, Auntie, you're gonna have a baby. And those were probably the second time in my life that took me the breath out of me. I could not believe it. So, anyways, then I prayed to God, I cannot gain 60 pounds. Holy, 40 years old. I had, at that time in my life, was over 200 pounds, and I could not. So, I gained 17 pounds, praise the Lord. And June 1st of 2000, we gave birth to a beautiful baby who is here today. Gracie, would you stand up? She's going to kill me. Stand up. That was 14 and a half years ago. And she rocks our world every single day.
Jade, I'm not the only one.
Stephanie, I'm not the only one.
So anyways, we had Gracie. Our life was complete. We continued to do real estate all the time, every day, and continued to build that business. And I kind of got to the point in my life where, not really in a selfish way, but just I thought, oh, you know, Lindsay and I talked about this, how you've got a child on one side and a husband on the other side, you're doing this big, huge business, and I just kind of wanted something for me. And we met Lindsay. Actually, the first time I ever met her was at her wedding. We knew Tony, Mary and I, and she was always posting. Whatever, chick is posting all the time. Which is a little tip there for you girls. Post away, because they'll either defriend you or don't coach. So she posted a post in January of 2012 that said something like, hey, I'm going to help 20 women this year lose weight, whatever, something like that. So I called her up and I said, you know, I don't know you because we met at your wedding, but you don't know me. What is all this about? So, and they had just started challenge packs, I just found that out. They had just started challenge packs, so she didn't even sort of know about it. I mean, you know, they were just kind of getting into all this stuff. So I bought Shakeology, did the live challenge pack. Bought Shakeology, did that for quite a while. And then in December last year, 1 year ago, she came to our house for dinner, her and Tony and Soren, and we talked about a little beach body, and then I called her and I said, I got this awesome girl that would be such a great coach for you, you should call her, because I wasn't thinking for myself. And then the next day I called her and I said, I love a girl that you should be awesome at this. And she's like, that's awesome. So she called me, she goes, you know, they're both really on fire. I'm like, good for you, that's so great.
I got it.
And then I said what was one of the pivotal moments of her life. I said, do you think I should like beach buddy coach? I mean, if there's only 2 people that I would have underneath me having no idea what Emerald was, having no idea anything. She's like, wait a second, I need to smell something to wake up here. She passed out. But yes, so that started my journey to beach body, which all of a sudden I'm like, I kind of have something for myself. So I was one of the diamonds in 90, went diamonds in 98. Yeah, that's where I'm at today, 1 star. It's crazy. So anyways, that's kind of my story. I have one thing to leave you with. Well, I've got 2 things to leave you with, but one is something that I read all the time, and I feel like, you know, just jump. Just jump off the building. Don't worry about who's not going to like you, who's going to defriend you, who's going to just post your brains out. Just jump. There's a saying that we have next to our that I read all the time. When you come to the end of all the light you have known and are about to step out into the darkness, faith is knowing one of 2 things will happen. There will be something to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. And that's what we're doing here. We are going to teach you guys how to fly. Lindsay is an incredible example. Stephanie is rocking this North French area, which is so fun. Just do it. Is this your first Tiffany necklace? Absolutely. Sorry, Caleb. You gotta look at mommy again. There you go. Just the soul out.
Well, I'm going to start requesting I go first. I don't cry my face off. Here, oh my gosh. Such a blessing to be able to witness that, to be able to just pay it forward and bless the lives of others. Like Luanna said, this is what the business is all about, you know. Our goals, yes, our family, yes, but just paying it forward and being able to see the ripple effect. I don't know, I mean, I've been around for a while. You've probably heard my story. If not, I'm going to put it into a little pint-sized cup here. Born the youngest of 4 daughters to an alcoholic father and an uneducated mother. My dad did die actually when I was 2 years old. So I didn't know him. I didn't have a whole lot of time to see the effects of alcohol, but I felt it on the inside. I felt the ugliness of it all, and I felt the void of not having them. 2 years old, I was crying. I wouldn't let my friends talk about their dads as I went through elementary school, and I was just angry from a very young age too. And my mom would always say, like, how can you miss something that you never had? And I can't answer it, I can't really explain it. I mean, I speak to counselors now and they say absolutely, like, fathers well, you need a mother, you need both. And then without it, there's an emptiness, there's a void. So at a very young age, I sought to fill that void. It started at 8 years old, my mother, and my story paints her out to be such a horrible woman, and she's not. She just did the best that she could with what she knew at the time. But she would make us rum and cokes, rum and eggnog at Christmas time. I can remember sitting in the laundry basket, like, that felt really funny, you know, like, drunk. So at 13, I continued to drink on a regular basis. That was kind of like the thing in Alabama. I don't know how it is up here, but, you know, the weekends, the parents would buy you the alcohol. They would come around and be like, what you having, Crown, Bacardi, vodka, Zima, you know, like, they would take your order and then go and get it for you. They felt like if you're doing it here, you're okay. I mean, we can parental advise all this. It's crazy. But consistently, on the weekends, I would drink and black out. And then I could find, like, bottles in my mom's cabinet and drink that and then fill it with water. So at 13, I'm drinking alcohol consistently, blacking out consistently, smoking cigarettes, and just being unsupervised because my mom, who's a single mom now of 4, works all day. You know, she's asleep when we wake up and go to school, and she's gone when we get back, and then we're supposed to be asleep by the time she gets home because she worked the night shift. And it just left a whole lot of room for errors and, you know, getting off your path and just making crazy mistakes. But I developed a severe addiction to alcohol from the time that I was 19 to 26. I was arrested, and by the way, if you don't know my story, I'm about to blow your mind. I was arrested 6 times for alcohol-related offense. I've been to jail, I have 4 DUIs on my record, and had absolutely no reason to be successful, except I was made for more. And I knew it. I knew because I was a bartender, and I'd get up there and I'd sling drinks all night, and people would say, man, you made me feel good while I was here, or, you know, you just got this thing about you. You know, I'd always hear that. You just have this light about you, and I didn't feel it because if you've ever been in that hospitality industry, you work, and then you go to the nearest bar and you spend all your money there. You know, I just was doing the same things, and I never felt like I had any light to give, but it was there. And I remember thinking, there's got to be something else. There's got to be another way to make money. Because, like, when you're in the hospitality industry, much like this, it's like you're in charge of how much money you make. You can be more outgoing and make more money. You can pick up more shifts and make more money. And it was like, there's got to be another way that I can make money and not do that. Like, and I looked for it. I looked for crazy things. Like, I worked in Sam's Club, like, handing out, like, flyers to do vacations somewhere. Like, I did all kinds of, I went business to business for one company. I was an entrepreneur through and through. Like, how can I make money? You know, how can I make money? And I'm so thankful that that was always in me, because when you're seeking, it will come to you. I was seeking another way to do more and be more. And I met Tony, which was the absolute, I can't give things the best blessings here, or like the biggest blessing, because Soren's awesome, and Tony's awesome, and Beachbody's been amazing. But meeting Tony was just life-changing for me. We actually met at a 12-step program at our church. It was the very first night I went, and I'm like, it's like that, huh? I keep coming back. I mean, he's pretty good looking. So I kind of say he kept me coming back to recovery, which was fun. But he really is responsible even for Beachbody, because he lent me insanity. When I quit drinking, I was already unhealthy and like slightly overweight, but when I quit drinking, I got even more overweight. Just like, you know, you're missing that sugar, and you just eat more sugar. And he lent me, in a very kind way, I'm sure, insanity. And I started doing, he only gave me a couple of the DVDs, and I started doing it at home. And I started getting results. I mean, I lost 20 pounds in the first couple of months of just doing like 2 of the DVDs. And Billy, I don't know if you guys know, Billy Hodges, Lindsay's husband, we worked together at the venue. So he saw me posting, right, about me doing this really hard workout at home. And this was way before I knew anything about coaching. And he just reached out to me and said, you know, there is this business opportunity that goes along with that program, and I was like, see, I knew there was another way. So at that moment forward, I said, I'm going to build this business. Actually, I go, Tony, can we build this business? Because we were actually involved with another business model that really taught me that this is the best way, you know. It is the best way to seek out a living, because you bless and you learn and you grow and you become a person that inspires. So that's basically what it was. Tony and I got pregnant right off the bat, right after I lost that 20 pounds, actually. And we had a lot of work to do. We still needed to get married. Sorry, Jesus. And we had a house. I was in school. We had a lot going on, and I was building this business. But here's the deal. I was still in the hospitality industry. I quit drinking. I started cleaning houses and babysitting kids from church. They knew me. Otherwise, with my record, you probably wouldn't have me watching your children. But I wasn't making the money. I wasn't making enough money to survive. So I said, I feel confident that I can go back to the hospitality industry. I will wait tables, and I'm going to make some money and finish school. And now I'm pregnant waiting tables. And I was like, man, that is a cliche you do not want to live out. But it was at that very moment I said, I'm going to make this business work. I have to. I won't repeat what happened to me as a child. I will break the cycle. I will not come back to a restaurant after I have my son. So that's what I did. I drew a line in the sand. And from that point on, I'm going to share with you just like those simple little things that we have to commit to doing in order to grow this business big, okay? And the first one is always going to be commit to your journey 100%. You and your program, you and your Shakeology, you and your clean eating, it's going to start there. It may not always have to stay there, okay? Because I've actually gained weight since my original transformation. But it has to be there for you to build yourself as a brand. For people to think of you when they want to start their health and fitness journey. Okay, so that's where it's got to be, right there. If it hasn't been at this very moment, that's where you start, committing to your journey. You're your first challenger right now. And it's the beginning of the year, so it's perfect. You are a challenger again, okay? So just commit there and start sharing it. I was at Super Saturday in Tampa. Okay, my two girls just happened to be the success stories that they chose. They were in our downline. And both of them said, I kept seeing my coach posting. I kept seeing them posting. And it's like, newsflash, guys, keep on posting, because, like Luanna said, they're either going to be annoyed or be inspired. And honestly, it feels pretty similar. It's a feeling. Make your people feel something, whether a little bit regretful that they're not doing it or super attracted to you because you are. Okay, so post. You can't post enough. Post your fitness every single day. Melanie Mitro? Every single day like clockwork. Post her fitness, right? It's not annoying, it's inspiring. She's sticking to her calendar, which is what we're all aiming to do. Okay, so post like it's your job. It is your job. And don't feel bad, because it's branding yourself. You got to post to brand yourself. You got to post to build credibility and therefore build your business. Being consistent. You hear these things so often that it's just like flying over your head, but really just let it sink in. Consistency is key. Stop and go, stop and go, stop. You'll never build momentum that way. Think about like a car and gas. Stop and go. Stop. Doesn't that burn out your gas? And that's why I said the highway works much better for you, because it takes more of your energy to stop and go. Toe in, toe out, toe in, toe out. You need both feet in the water forever. Okay? Do it enough. You're going to build a brand. When you get tagged in everything mermaids, that you've talked about mermaids. Tagged in everything Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, I've talked about the turtles. I get tagged when people ate a healthy meal or they did their workout, because I have talked about those things. It's the same thing. When people see you are on your health and fitness journey and you're building this incredible business, they want to come to you for that. And that's our goal, is to inspire, to live to inspire others. We want people, honestly, to look at our life and say, I want a piece of that. I would love for my life to mirror that.